Good morning, guys. As you see, I have the 360 running. I'm just checking on it to prepare for an event we have in a little while. And I wanted to take a second to just explain in full detail how you set up a 360. A lot of people have them and they, like I said in my last video, they'll keep them in storage and they don't set them up. They're kind of intimidated with the setup. So we're gonna do a full up close detailed setup. So let's get started. So this is everything that you need to set up the 360. Give or take some screws. Everybody will have a different way to set it up, but this is everything we generally use for the 360. So these are small screws. These are longer screws and their backs. This is a ball head, the remote. The light doesn't come with the 360, as you know, but I included it because it's a part of our setup. But technically it's a prop, but I'm gonna include it just so you guys can see it. These are the plugs to the 360, the poles, and the arm. I don't know if those are the technical names for them, but that's what we call them. So let's get started. First thing you wanna do is stand the 360 up like this. At least for me, it works better that way. We used to do it with it flat, like the way that you stand on it, but doing it this way is so much easier. So even in an event, we'll stand it up and one of us will hold it. If I'm by myself, then it can stand up by itself like for like a minute or so. So probably won't do it because I got the rug, but at an event, it can stand up like this by itself for a few seconds. But anyway, stand it up like this. That's the best thing you could do because it makes it so much easier and you'll see why. So the first thing you want to do is take your arm. This is the arm. And you insert it in this hole like this. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have different 360s. So, of course, I can't say that you have the exact one that I have, but hopefully yours looks pretty similar. I'm pretty sure the setup for all of them is kind of the same. Insert it into this little slot located under the 360, under the platform. Even though I'm leaving it leaning like that, as you see, it needs space. It wouldn't be able to spin. So technically, if you look, it has holes. You have to figure out how to line it up. The best way for us is 3 holes out and 3 holes in. That's how we remember where to leave it. And from that, you see it leaves space. It's no longer touching it. You'll see it when I lay it back down flat. Next, you get the little screws. Those are the screws that go into that portion of it. Like I said, you'll probably have more screws. It's up to you how you set it up. We generally use 4. So I'll take 4 screws and I'll start to put them in the holes in the aligned way that I just said. So now that the platform is laying back down flat, you can see the importance of figuring out how you want to put the screws in as far as leaving 3 holes in, 3 holes out, because now you see it has enough space to spin. Another thing is, imagine having to lay on the floor to get those screws in if you keep the platform flat when you put the screws in, which is why I suggest sitting it up and putting the screws in. No one wants to lay on the floor anywhere, so sitting it up like that is the reason we do it. Next, you go back and get the long pole and you are gonna insert it into the arm. As you can see, it has holes at the bottom to connect the arm and the pole together. You're gonna need 4 screws for this part. As you get comfortable with the 360, you'll figure out where you should angle the holes. It allows you to lean it forward or lean it back, and it's pretty much up to you and up to the space that you have. No matter which angle you choose, you're gonna use 4 screws for it. Next, you go back and get your shorter pole and you insert it inside of the longer pole that you already connected. This is the one that the ball head connects to. you align it with the height you want it to be. So you align the holes with how tall you want the height to be. You then go get your longer screws and the backs and you insert them into the holes to connect the shorter pole and the longer pole. If your 360 came with a battery holder, this is where you insert it. You connect the long screw through the hole of the battery holder into the holes of the poles, and that's how you get them to stay together. Then you connect the back. Next, you grab your ball head and you screw it to the top of the shorter pole. Then you grab your light and you screw the light onto the ball head. Next, you grab your plugs, you insert them into each other, and then you connect them through this little hole in the middle of the 360 platform. And that's it. You have completed the full 360 setup. Now you would just go on and set up your lighting, your props, and everything else that you do to enhance the experience. But that's it for setting up the actual 360. So I don't want to hear anybody else saying that they can't set it up, because this was very easy and detailed. One last quick thing I wanted to mention is that when it's time to put everything away, this is how I do it. I take everything down and save the platform for last. I put the light on top of the platform and put all my screws inside of the light. That way there's no space for me to lose anything, because most parties or events are dark and it's so easy to drop a screw and lose it, which you don't want to happen. So try to save the platform for last as far as packing. Insert everything in the middle of the light and then pack them into your baggies. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope everybody moves forward in their 360 business since they now know how to set it up. And don't forget, tomorrow is our live Touchpix tutorial on Zoom. Free if you're in our Facebook group, $25 for non-members. The links will be in the description. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.